Hey guys, welcome to Uber and Lyft in Austin, part 7 of 10. This video is entitled The 1%. I'd have to say that Austin has mostly good people in it. I've had pretty good experiences with most of the riders. I mean, about only 1% of the rides that I've given have been bad. I've given total about maybe 25,000 rides in my 5 years. Um, I've had everything from the childish Ubers, not Uber, but UT students pulling a prank on me, or down to a pimp with his employee, which that is probably the worst I've ever had. Um, you've got some like annoying backseat drivers that just have you on pins and needles, trying to please them so they don't give you a bad rating or something. But you have to throw up the yackers, the yak in your car. Usually those are students, UT students, most of the time. I once had an off-duty cop actually open the door while I was doing 70 miles an hour, thrown up out the door. And I had to talk to him. I was like, "Are you feeling okay tonight? You're not going to throw up on me, are you?" Or whatever. And he said no, he was fine. But after I pulled over and he had opened the door, he said he got car sick. I was like, dude, you could have fallen out the car. But, that was a pretty bad one too. On occasion, you'll have like four people in my car because I can only fit four, and they're crammed in, trying to put their seatbelts on, making fun of it, and like, or you've got people that want to turn the radio up all the way where you blow your speakers out. Um, I've actually had people that didn't want to wear their seatbelt so bad that they got out, and I canceled the ride. Uh, I've had people lie about me. Um, this one dude thought I was making fun of him, and I wasn't. I just wanted to know if he like rode motorcycles because he was wearing all leather, and I was like, then he goes like, if I had a motorcycle, would I be using Uber and Lyft? I was like, I don't know. I had just given a ride to a guy to go pick up his motorcycle, and I was just curious about the guy. And that one led to a suspension on Lyft because the guy lied about me. He said that I was on drugs while while driving him around, and I couldn't pay attention. I wasn't bright enough to follow the GPS, and then I had like that same week, maybe no, maybe the same night, I had a lady on 6th Street, and I told her, I was like, get in the car or I'm gonna leave, because her friends were already in the back. And she took that to heart and dropped her off, and then she told Lyft that I made fun of her ethnicity, and then I threatened her. And I did threaten her, but I didn't want her to get into a fight. She was getting into a fight. She might have brought it in the car. I've had that a couple times. Um, and they ended up kicking me off the app for 4 days. So I just drove for Uber for the 4 days. But Lyft is more inclined to listen to the riders than the drivers, because they immediately kicked me off after this lady said that. And I told them, I was like, no, I've been doing this. At that time, I'd been doing it maybe 2.5 or 3 years. I was telling them, I was like, do you see my record? Like, do you see all the compliments I've got? And I have a pretty substantial amount of compliments. And they still kicked me off for 4 days, and then they were put into their safety department. And look at those scooters they've got. Like, those are the worst thing ever. Uber and Lyft are so far better than them scooters, and Lyft is in the scooters. Like, and they're talking about safety. No, that doesn't have anything to do with safety. These kids fall off of that. They don't care. They're looking for all the data where they're going to. They don't want to charge they don't even make much money off of like um, how much the scooters pay for it. They get paid off of data, like where are these scooters going to. Um, yeah, so Uber is a lot lenient, a lot more lenient. I've never been in trouble with Uber, and I've always had like a 4.8, 4.9. In Lyft, though, it's easy to have a 5.0. It's really easy. Like I think every week now, I split it between Uber and Lyft now, and I'll drive half for Uber and half for Lyft. And with Lyft, almost every single week I'll have a 5-star rating. Nothing wrong with it. But with Uber, it's hard. They go back every, they go all the way back to 500 rides with Uber, and I finally got my rating all the way up to like a 4.95, which is great. Uh, well, I mean, driving in Austin, you're gonna meet like some pretty good people for the most part. Um, I'd say maybe 1 out of 3 or 4 weeks is bad to you. Well, that concludes this video. If you really want to hear more of these stories, please subscribe and hit the like button and hit that little bell icon to see so you can get updates. Thank you so much.